Magic, one thing that surprised me, not knowing MJ intimately like you do, is he's so invincible, such an assassin on the court, but then he seemed to be affected by the fame in the whole Air Jordan persona and all the hoopla that came with it. How surprised were you by how affected he was by the off-the-court issues?
Well, I don't think I was surprised. I think, Michael needed a place that he could just go be Michael Jordan and not Air Jordan. And I think a lot of time, he enjoyed how he performed on the basketball court. I mean, the greatest ever. And then you think about he didn't ever have time just for himself, just to be one of the guys. He couldn't just go to a restaurant. He couldn't just go to hang out at a bar or a club or something, because it was always going to be a big deal for him. That's why I think he loved golf so much, because he knew that people couldn't get to him. That's a place he could relax, and he could be with his friends and just hang out and just be one of the guys, And Michael, because he gave so much of himself to the game of basketball, he loved his family. As you can see, he loved his parents. His father was close with him. Had a close relationship, I should say, as well as his mother. And then, he's great father to his kids. And so it didn't surprise me what he said on air. I know when we're playing cards, he's in his element. He gets to talk trash. He gets to have fun. And we had a lot of fun during Olympic times just playing spades or bid whist or Tunk. We played a lot of card games, and he had to bet a lot of money, but we had fun doing it.
Magic, I want to talk about the Dream Team and that scrimmage that you guys had that's become legendary. And it was covered in other documentaries as well, but not as thoroughly as this. I'm curious to how you were feeling at the time, because it was your and Larry Bird's league. That Bird had gotten hurt. But it's hard to imagine someone being better than Bird or talking more trash than Larry Bird. And then this kid, Michael Jordan, comes around, and he's even better and talks even worse than Bird. But at the same time, it's being taken away from you in a way, because it was your and Larry's league, and now Michael's coming to take it by force. And that scrimmage seemed to represent that moment in time where there was no doubt. What were you feeling at that time?
Well, Max, I think, first of all, the scrimmage was the greatest basketball that we all had ever played in, because of the fact that every player on the team was a Hall of Famer, an all-star in their own right. And also we had big egos. So we were playing for our ego. We were playing to let guys know that, hey, I'm the best at what I do, and I'm going to go head-to-head against you. So it was amazing to see Charles Barkley go at his friend Karl Malone, and Karl Malone go at Charles. Patrick Ewing against David Robinson. I mean, on and on and on. It made it so amazing. And Chuck Daly was the perfect coach for it. And Max, it was really funny. So we got out on them about 10, 12 points, And so, I had to make Michael go to the Air Jordan level. So I said, okay, I'm going to go over here and talk a little trash to him and see what's going to happen, right? And this is when the torch got passed. So I said, look, MJ, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're going to blow you guys out. Max, I've never seen a man take something so personal and then go out there and just take that scrimmage over. It was amazing to see him come out and just dominate. And I'm talking about dominate the best in the game. And that's when we knew that the torch was being passed from myself and Larry on to Michael. But I'm going to tell you the moment that really got us. So we got back to the hotel, right? And so we're all, the NBA had built a nice lounge for the players. And so Michael's up there and he's smoking on his cigar. Larry and I just sitting there having a Coke or whatever. And he says, guys, and he put his hands on my shoulder, put his hands on Larry's shoulder, and said, guys, there's a new sheriff in town. So he was like, oh, man, what could we say? He said, you know what, you're right. It's your league now.
Did you guys? Magic, that's hard for someone because when you went out the first time, you went out at the height of, you were a great player, MVP, in fact, an MVP player and all that. And Bird had the bad back, but Bird was, MVPs and championships and the whole thing. Did you and Larry ever talk about it like, this dude is lucky he came along? If only he would have come along in our primes. Like, how did you and Larry talk about Michael at that time?
No, you know what? It wasn't about that. It was like my Showtime Lakers. We dominated the '80s. We won 5 championships. Went to the finals 9 times in 12 years. Larry had his 3 NBA championships. So now it was somebody else's turn. And then in between that, Isaiah and his Pistons won back-to-back championships. So it was somebody else's turn. And Michael, the team got better. Scottie Pippen became a Hall of Fame player, and it was just their turn to dominate, and they did. And you have to remember something. The Pistons got taught by the Celtics. The Bulls got taught by the Detroit Pistons. You have to learn how to win a championship before you can win a championship. Michael had to learn that, 7 years in? But give him credit. He understood what he had to do to win the championship, but he had to go through a lot of pain to get there. And then he ended up dominating the 90s.
Magic, if you have to learn to win a championship, how did you jump as a 20-year-old in your rookie season at center and win a championship your first year? What, the Magic Johnson Lakers didn't have to learn much?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.